All right, guys, we're back again. So now in this video, I am going to discuss quite a few things to answer the question, what should my writing look like? The last past weeks in class, we've been going over text structure and all the signal words and how to identify and relate text structure to each of the five: description, order sequence steps or order sequence time, compare and contrast, cause and effect, and problem and solution. So now we're going to take all of these learnings and these aids that are linked into this document to help us write for our website in each form of text structure. I am going to be jumping back and forth from a couple different tabs to show you what I am referring to so you can have a better understanding. So, starting with what we've already created for a website, we added pages for each type of text structure on the Shaky Earth example. For example, where in the world is shaking. That's my description for this page. Shaky steps will be order sequence steps. Major destruction is cause and effect. Survival of the shaky grounds is problem and solution. And earthquake versus volcanoes for this page is compare and contrast. So let's go back to this site. First of all, in class, we created a chart to help us come up with some topics that we can write on for each type of text structure. Because our website is all on one animal or one weather type, we want to have some different things to talk about for each text structure. For example, for description, we said we could describe the animal's habitat. We could describe the food that an animal eats or the type of destruction the weather makes, the most popular or common places for our animal and or weather type, sequence or chronological order. We can do the life cycle of our animal. We can do important events for the timelines of our storms. We can tell how the weather type forms, or we can tell how an animal creates its habitat. For example, how a bird will build a nest. For compare and contrast, we could compare an animal or a weather type to another similar animal or weather type, or we can compare them to everyday items, compare and contrast them to everyday items. Cause and effect. We can talk about extinction being an effect of one of our animal and then tell the causes. So what causes our animal to become extinct? We can tell reasons of formation for our animal, like what happens for our animal, what causes our animal to become alive, um, and what's the effect of it. Destruction, which is a cause of a storm, and then we can tell the effects of the destruction, like what happens as a result of the storm happening. Problem and solution. We can talk about extinction. We can talk about how to survive these storms, how to save humans from deadly animals. There are many different options here. So, as long as you're telling a problem and giving how to solve the problem, all the text structure should have keywords shown. All of them should have a factual information, and all of them should start with a strong lead. So, jumping back to the how to guide, we had some writing aids. I gave you this document to use if you need it. You have it printed out and it should be in your binder. So, I've already put each type of text structure in for you: description, sequence, cause and effect. And then on the back of the sheet has problem and solution and also compare and contrast. So, your topic would be what you're writing about. For example, on the earthquake page that I created, my topic would be, let me go back to and look at it. Okay, the topic for problem is solution would be survival is no, that's my title of my page, survival of the shaky grounds. But my topic would be how the problems with earthquakes and how people can survive them. And also, when I did my Zebra website, for description, I did in the wild. So my topic would be describing my animal's habitat, but the title of my page is in the wild. So I just wanted you guys to see how when you do those, your topic is actually what you're writing about, but your web page title should be something a little bit more catchy. And then I can use this space to write exactly what I'm going to put on my page, and this section to list any of my sources. Like if I use the book, the title and the author, the web page I use if I use the internet, or the video link if I used a video link to help me get my information to do my writing. All of the writing on your website should be in paragraph form. The only one that is allowed to be in a different type of writing is probably order sequence. This is my example from my zebra page. I have order sequence. I noticed that I have my clue words first, after, then, lastly, but this is not necessarily in a paragraph. I'll just put these in steps with pictures and or videos that relate to each step. But I also have some information up here that pretty much is in prose of a paragraph as well. I just listed the different types of species of zebras that there are in bullet form, but pretty much everything is in paragraph form. So if you go like in the wild, it's my description text structure. It is a paragraph. Notice that I tell who zebras are doing what. They're grazing in the tall grass of the plains daily. When, where, and how. They live in a family called a harem. They're led by who? A stallion. So it's giving facts, 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 facts. So you know this is description. Also, my map shows where the plains zebra mostly live. So everything on this page is description text structure because it gives facts. If I go to Snappy Predators, which is my cause and effect text structure, notice that I also have paragraphs. And I only italicize these clue words so you guys could see it in my video, but you don't have to italicize them. But however, you know this is cause and effect text structure because although you have so what causes, many reasons, as a result, this leads to, all of those words are signal words for cause and effect. So I also I paraphrased and quoted some information from these authors and websites, and I have them cited here because they're of these authors' thoughts and not of my own. They helped me generate my thoughts to be able to paraphrase, but I didn't know this information before I read their information. So becoming a zebra, of course, I showed you that. You saw my transition words first, after, then, lastly. It's a donkey, it's a horse. No, it's a zebra. How they related is my comparison and contrast. And you can see both, unlike, and I just saw I had a mistake here, so I need to fix that. Unlike is there. Unlike, all three, they are comparing and contrasting. So they are telling how donkeys, horses, and zebras are both alike and different. Okay? So Save Our Homes is a problem and solution text structure. I have the clue words, problem, solutions. I tell you what the problem is. I tell you how it can be solved. All right. So when you're writing, you need to make sure you include those signal words, which are listed here in this packet that I also gave you. You can find some signal words there. If you're having trouble with a lead, you have a graphic organizer here to give you some ideas of some leads. And if we go back to my web page, you can see this one is not such a good lead, but it started off with a fact. The plain zebra itself is not an endangered species. But if I go to this one, most people may think of a zebra as a horse in striped pajamas. So that's a little humor there. Becoming a zebra. This is a question lead. Do you know there are 3 species of zebras? For my snappy predators, off in the murky waters glides a sneaky, snappy eating machine. Alligator. So I start with suspense there. In the wild, I started with suspense as well. Imagine grazing through the tall grass of the plains daily, wondering where your next water break will be. Then you can imagine being a zebra. So I have some different leads there to lead my readers off into my writing with a catchy lead. Also, when writing, make sure you're paraphrasing. It tells you how this picture tells you how to paraphrase the steps of a paraphrasing, what you should do for each step. All of these resources are available to you right here in on this document. They're linked to the document, and you have most of them printed out or in Google Classroom. These text structure writing frames are showing you how to actually set up your text if you're confused about how to write as in compare and contrast after we've done it in class several times. You don't have to follow these verbatim or exactly, but if you are struggling with the writing of this, you're more than welcome to use these text structure frames to help you write. So this video should have given you an idea of what your writing should look like. Don't forget each page should have a bolded word on it to add to your glossary. But you do not have to point out that this is cause and effect or compare and contrast. When I read your writing, I should be able to look at it and see the clue words like unlike in both to know that this is comparison and contrasting text structure. So hopefully that helps you with your writing and you use all of these aids on your document to be able to come up with your topics, come up with some good titles, also be able to paraphrase and use strong leads when you are writing. And check out the next videos for you guys to be able to know how to add a table of contents and hyperlinking your pages and citing your